Sure. G'day, gentlemen. Perhaps, Richie, just yourself, back in the starting side, first experience against the All Blacks last week, but what are the differences for you? Like Will Skelton provides a lot of size and bowl. What do you think you provide?
Yeah, look, I think I'm going to provide a bit of mobility there around the park, and yeah, and then obviously yeah, bit of grunt to a bit of aggression around the park. That's what I'm hoping for, mate.
Yeah, so you guys have been training in mud and snow this week, and this one's in indoor stadium. Probably going to be a bit quicker than the last few test matches. Is that mobility and some of those features with Fraser going to be there really important to ensure that you guys not only keep up with the All Blacks but compete them in that area?
Yeah, mate. Yep, definitely. Yeah, expecting a quick game, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Quade, what have you noticed from Carter and your first few experiences with him? You spoke about him when you first saw him at the Reds, but it's a whole new ball game when someone starts a test match.
Yeah, I mean, test matches are the most difficult arena to play, and you've got the best players in the world. You're going up against, and just I guess getting opportunities to continue to play. You get a feel for what it's about, and just progress from there. He's a great kid. He's been training really well. We've been having great conversations around the game and where we want to get to and where we're at in our own journey as the Wallabies.
There was a nice moment that Tom Hooper spoke about on Monday, where he said that you spoke to him at half time and said, "Mate, we need you to play more like a lock, even though you're wearing the 7 jersey." Those kind of little bits of intel that you're providing from all your experience, has there been little bits there with Carter as well? You have to bring us into a little bit of your role, which goes beyond just playing.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been points, but it's two ways, just having conversations, being sounding board for each other, to bounce ideas off, and I think that's the best thing about being in a team is you have different voices, you have different opinions, you have different skill sets and strengths and weaknesses, and to be able to call on each other and help each other grow, that's the best thing about being in this team and what we're trying to do. So we've had a few conversations here and there, but I'm just here to compete with him, push him to be the best that he can be, and likewise him do the same for me.
Hey Quade, it was quite noticeable at the MCG after the game that you were very animated, talking to the team, addressing the team. Are you able to take us inside what you were talking about in that moment?
No, I mean, it's just general chit-chat really. We're obviously disappointed in the result, but we also know that on this journey that we're on, it's about progress, it's about getting better, moving in the right direction. And although we're super disappointed with a lot of the stuff and the result of that game, the big picture for us is being able to progress every week, and I feel like we're doing it.
And how hungry are you? I mean, every player wants to start, of course, and you're being very supportive of Carter, but I imagine you don't want to just sit back and say, okay, it's Carter's jersey now either. You're a competitive man.
Yeah, I mean, as it is, we're all competing, but the ultimate goal is to build a great team, a solid team that any guy who's involved in the squad can step in at any time and do the job. And the way we do that is by helping each other, providing opportunities. So when you're starting, the guys who are on the bench competing as hard as possible to push you to be the best that you can be, but it also comes in a supportive role as well. So of course we all want to start games, but the bigger picture for us is building a team and a squad that can go to France and win a World Cup.
G'day Quade. Can I ask you what the hoodoo, 22 years of not winning against the All Blacks in New Zealand, does it mean anything to you? Is it a motivating force? Is there any sense that there's opportunity on Saturday, given the ABs are going to be pretty changed, it looks like?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're playing against the best in the world, the All Blacks, 22 years, when you hear that, it's a difficult pill to swallow. But they're the benchmark. You know, we have the opportunity to play them, you know, 2-3 times a year. So for us, it's something that we're working towards. You know, as I said, it's a very difficult one. But the opportunity this week is about just progressing, getting better and better. And as we said, the ultimate goal right now is the World Cup. You know, peaking for the World Cup and learning each week. So we know it's going to be a huge challenge. You know, and we look forward to it.
And Richie, excuse me, would a win on Saturday sort of wash away the pain of some of the defeats over the last month?
Oh, yeah, obviously, absolutely. Like Quade was saying, we're you know, we're hurting from our last few weeks, the performances, but we're getting better each week, and yeah, the end goal is yeah, France. So yeah, it will be.
Quade, can I just ask that, and going on Sam's point about the huddle after the game, you know, that very much looked like a captaincy performance and what a captain would be doing after a game. Are there kind of any regrets that you aren't leading this team into a World Cup, that we've had 3 or 4 captains and that you're not the man in that sense?
No, not at all, mate. You know, I don't play the game to be a captain or to get those type of signatory accolades. You know, for me, it's all about being the best that I can be and providing whatever's needed for the team. You know, so we have many leaders in this team. We have, you know, a few guys who are played a lot more tests than others. A few guys who are older in age, who have made many mistakes. I'm certainly one of those guys who have made mistakes throughout my life, and you know, being able to learn from those. So, like, being able to just provide, you know, a sounding board, as I said. It's not necessarily advice, it's just an opinion, being able to bounce that off each other. So to answer your question, no, not at all.
But is it something that's kind of come to you that you've kind of passed on, or is it something that if it came to you, you'd be really keen to do?
In terms of? Like,
in terms of the captaincy, like, has it been on the agenda at all, and are you surprised if not?
No, not at all, mate. No, I guess if the captaincy is given to anyone, you know, you're not going to turn that away. But in saying that, it's not something that, you know, I look to do. It's not something that I'm passionate about. You know, as I said, I just want to be the best that I can be. When I'm out on the field, I know my job and my role as a number 10, as a leader, as an older guy in the team. You know, and I understand that. So to go back to it, to answer your question, no. Doesn't.
And what do you make of Tate? Sorry, mate, what do you make of Tate as a leader and his potential in that role?
Mate, he's definitely a great player. You know, he's led Queensland. He's a guy who has a great head on his shoulders. I haven't played too much football with him. You know, I haven't played with him a hell of a lot at the Reds or at the Wallabies. So all I know is that he's a great player. He has a great head on his shoulders, and he'll lead the boys well on the weekend.
And this could be your last go in New Zealand, maybe? Do you think and reflect on that, and how how you've come up against them in the past?
No, not really. Like, you know, the game's a game. You know, like, I don't think about when it's going to be my last game, if it'll be my last game, or so forth. You know, for me, I always put a high focus on how I prepare every day. You know, whether it's for a game against the All Blacks, whether it's just we've got a week off, whether I'm on holiday or playing in Japan. For me, the approach is all about my life as a whole, not about one game of rugby in New Zealand, in Dunedin. You know, I want to do the best that I can, but I'll allow myself to do that by preparing well every single day to be the best possible version of myself. And then come game day, I'll be able to put my best foot forward.
Last couple online, please, guys, and we'll come in the room.
I'll just ask Richie, the maul has been an area that you guys were looking to get a lot of pay out of it. Hasn't quite worked yet. What's going on there, and have you been working hard to fix it? Can you give us a bit of insight about why it's just not clicking?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, obviously, our maul attack hasn't been up to scratch from previous years, but yeah, we're working hard on that at training, and yeah, we're looking to use it this weekend, obviously. And the other one was our maul defence. It hasn't been up to scratch too, so yeah, that's been a big focus for us this week.